Viktor's tragic journey is a mix of sacrifice and ambition, and without him, Arcane would never be the same again. Let me explain. Viktor grew up in Zaun, a place where dreams were crushed before they could even take root. Born with a malformed leg, he was different, and in Zaun, different meant isolated. But Viktor wasn't just different physically, he was brilliant. Even as a kid, he was building incredible things, dreaming of a world that didn't see people like him as less. It's this drive to create, to fix what's broken, that sets him apart. But ambition, as we will see, can be a double-edged sword. It's an introduction to his origins, his struggles in Zaun, and the spark of ambition that really defined him. So Viktor wasn't just some random kid from Zaun. Even back then, he stood out. Heimerdinger noticed it too. This guy saw potential in Viktor that no one else even cared to look for. Imagine growing up in a place where everyone's just trying to survive, and suddenly you've got this opportunity to make something of yourself. That's exactly what happened when Viktor left Zaun for Piltover, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Piltover wasn't exactly welcoming for someone like him, and Viktor knew it. Sure, he was smart, but he never forgot where he came from. That chip on his shoulder, it drove him to work even harder. And yeah, Heimerdinger gave him a shot, but Viktor wasn't about to play it safe. He didn't just want to fit into Piltover, he wanted to change the game entirely. And this is where things get interesting. Enter Jace. Viktor and Jace couldn't have been more different. Jace was this golden boy from Piltover, loved by everyone, while Viktor, he was the underdog, the guy nobody rooted for. But when they teamed up, something clicked. These two brought out the best in each other, at least at first. Together, they started messing around with Hextech, trying to unlock its full potential. It was exciting, groundbreaking stuff. But let's be real, credit wasn't exactly shared equally. Jace became the face of their work. Yes, he started it, but Viktor did help a lot. So yeah, Jace became the face of the work, the hero Piltover loved to celebrate, while Viktor stayed in the shadows. And that started to eat away at him. Viktor's ideas weren't just about progress. They were personal. He wasn't just trying to make the world better. He was trying to prove that someone like him could matter. And as time went on, that need to prove himself started to consume him. Now, here's where things take a dark turn. Viktor's health starts to fail. All those years of working himself to the bone finally catch up to him. And suddenly, time isn't on his side anymore. But instead of slowing down, Viktor doubles down. He starts experimenting with the Hexcore, a creation that could redefine life itself. And at first, it seems like a miracle. It heals him, gives him back what his body had taken away. But the Hexcore isn't just a tool, it's alive. And the deeper Viktor dives into its potential, the more he starts to lose himself. One of the most tragic moments comes when Skye, someone who cared deeply for him, gets caught in the middle. The Hexcore reacts, and in a flash, she's gone. Viktor is left with nothing but guilt. It's like every step forward comes with a bigger price, and yet he can't stop. The Hexcore is more than just a project now. It's an obsession. After Skye's death, you'd think Viktor would hit the brakes, right? But no. If anything, it's like he shifted into overdrive. The guilt of what happened to Skye didn't stop him. It fueled him. He became more determined than ever to push the Hexcore's boundaries. And that's when things got even weirder. The Hexcore wasn't just something Viktor used. It started to change him. His body, his mind, even the way he saw the world, it was all different. And when he starts healing people in Zaun, giving them a second chance at life, you almost want to believe he's doing something good. But deep down, you can feel that something's off. Viktor's not the same guy he used to be. It's like the Hexcore has its hooks in him. And the more he tries to do good, the more he loses himself. And the people around him, they see it too. By this point, Viktor's story isn't just about ambition anymore. It's about control, obsession, and the question of how far is too far. And here's the thing, this is still just the beginning. And what happens next? Well, that's where everything starts to change. With everything spiraling out of control, Viktor heads back to Zaun. And here's the thing, he's not just trying to fix the damage anymore, he's looking for redemption, or maybe a way to justify everything that he's done. The Hexcore starts to give him even more power, and for a while, it looks like he's doing good. He's curing people, making life better for some of Zaun's most desperate. But if you're paying attention, you can see the cracks. Viktor's not really saving people, he's testing the limits of what the Hexcore can do, and deep down, he knows it. At this point, it's hard to tell where Viktor ends and the Hexcore begins. Even when he sees the good he's doing, there's this shadow hanging over it. It's like he's waiting for it all to fall apart, and honestly, so are we, because with Viktor, nothing ever comes without a cost. Now, back in Zaun, Viktor's experience grow bolder, but they also draw attention. The people he's saving start to worship him, seeing him as the savior of the Undercity. And for a moment, Viktor starts to believe it too, but his relationship with Jace has completely collapsed by now. And when they confront each other again, it's not as friends, it's as enemies. Jace sees what the Hexcore is doing to Viktor, and he knows it has to end. The showdown is inevitable. Viktor, who once dreamed of saving the world, is now willing to tear it apart to finish his work. And as their final clash unfolds, we're left with a haunting question. Was Viktor ever really in control? Or did the Hexcore take over long before he realized it? And then we reach the point of no return. Viktor's transformation into the Machine Herald. The Hexcore, now fully integrated with Viktor, reshapes his body and mind into something unrecognizable. His mechanical form is a physical manifestation of everything he's sacrificed. His humanity, his relationships, and his past self. With this transformation, Viktor becomes the embodiment of the glorious evolution he once dreamed of. A vision of progress stripped of emotion and connection. But here's the tragic twist. This evolution is a hollow victory. The more powerful he becomes, the further he drifts from the person he once was. His final form isn't just a triumph of technology. It's a haunting reminder of the cost of unchecked ambition. The Machine Herald may stand tall, but Viktor's journey leaves us questioning whether the price of his dream was far too steep to pay. And that's all I can say for now. If you enjoyed this short story about Viktor, hitting that subscribe button would be very helpful to my channel, and if you have any video recommendations, let me hear them down below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed your stay, and always remember to stay curious.